Hello， 大家好，我係區議員鍾麗謙啦。咁就嚟做另一個議員啦，已經完成嗰個議員。咁就我哋 office 最後一份送俾大家嘅小禮物啦。呢個就係一個馬鞍山嘅喺山上面揾到嘅動物啦。咁就希望係大家可以中意呢份禮物啦，因為月曆就係留到1年啦，死啦！一開咪現上校。
Johnny Chung is among the few pan-Democrat district councillors who are about to complete their full term of 4 years. The main role of Hong Kong district councillors like Chung is to advise the city's government on local issues, such as transport, hygiene, and public facilities. Chung won his seat in 2019, when opposition candidates secured a landslide victory in district council polls. But 2 years later, all councillors were required to swear an oath of allegiance to Hong Kong and China to align with the city's national security law. The legislation imposed by China's central government in June 2020 outlaws secession, subversion, terrorism, and collusion with foreign forces. Faced with the oath requirement, more than 300 district councillors resigned or were disqualified.
當時啦，相對一啲進步啲嘅團體啊，或者議員都俾人 DQ 或者解散咗嘅時候，我想透過自己企出嚟去話俾人聽，其實一啲後生啲嘅人啦，又或者相對進步啲諗法嘅人，其實係依然存在嘅。贏咗之後，我係有開心過1秒嘅，咁但係好快我就再調整翻嗰個心情。我好想話俾人知道，區議會選舉其實只係成個反送中運動，甚至乎係民主運動嘅其中一個好細嘅 episode。即係個目光應該係更加放喺實際講緊，可能係制度嘅改革啊，又或者當時講緊我哋19年所講嘅5大訴求入面。
But Chung decided he would not seek another term after the end of his current one on December 31st. In July, Hong Kong's legislature passed electoral reform legislation that dramatically cut the number of directly elected seats and required those wishing to run for a seat to secure nominations from 3 government-appointed committees.
嗰陣我以為你有機會選到添，我終於有機會。冇啊！點解唔參選啊？齋
都話環境變得太快啦，佢要更正苗紅嘅先選得。
支持你。
多謝。
Chung said his decision to stay out of the race was not only because the election became less democratic, but also because he did not know how he could fulfill his duty under the overhauled system.
呢個比較少人提到嘅就係當政府去修改區議會條例嘅時候，其實加入咗一個明文規定，就話區議員係需要協助政府支持同埋推廣政府嘅政策。咁好多時候，如果政府政策係同社區嘅利益有違背嘅時候，咁我究竟係會選擇依法去企喺政府嗰一方啊，抑或係繼續去履行我作為代議士嘅責任，企喺市民嗰一方呢？
Hong Kong leader John Lee said the district council overhaul would pave the way for the bodies to be less politicized and better able to focus on local issues. But Chung said the government had been uncooperative with pan-Democrat councillors, regardless of what topics were discussed.
喺區議會嗰度提問啦，就問沙田區內嘅學童佢哋嘅移入移出嘅數字啦。咁但係教育局就係拒絕去俾呢個數字嘅，就話避免公眾有不必要嘅揣測。我明政府可能會覺得令人聯想起一啲嘅移民潮啊等等，咁但係呢個明顯就係關於區內嘅嘢啊嘛。甚至乎講緊為區內會唔會有啲學校因為咁樣而殺校啊、縮班啊、常設嘅教席係冇咗啊。我哋呢一屆區議會面對嘅就係呢啲嘅政府嘅不合作咯。
呢啲斜佬啊，俾人哋鬧到不得了啊！有啲人話我破壞德福嘅風水啊。但係如果我角度咧，我又覺得咧，整咗啲龍咧，去抬起晒你哋喎，咁你個風水咪仲更加好。仲有一樣嘢咧，就係當你整好咗之後，有人需要用輪椅出入嘅時候，我就覺得呢個都係我少少嘅功績。咁起碼咧，去幫到一啲更有需要嘅人咯。
Winnie Poon has served residents of Telford Garden in Kowloon Bay as an elected district councillor for 10 consecutive terms since 1985. As a pan-Democrat supporter, she admits that councillors have sometimes discussed political issues in the council. However, she said pro-government councillors did the same in previous terms.
背後仲有一個就係好大嘅社會事件啦。 區議會本身就係做區議事務嘅，將佢提升到一個咁政治架構咁高，去騎劫啦，你當係咪啊？騎劫咗區議會，去表達一啲對政府不滿嘅嘢，然之後去做呢樣嘢嘅時候，呢個係唔對嘅。喺19年之前咁多屆都係佢哋 dominate， 佢哋係做主導噶嘛，佢哋係大幫人啊嘛。佢哋其實完全係都有做呢啲嘢嘅喎，佢哋亦都有騎劫區議會，向英國政府施壓力嘅喎。嗰陣時係咪啊？我哋區議會反映英國點樣乜咁樣，亦都有用區議會上咗一啲嘅線，係超越咗係全香港九龍新界做嘅嘢。嗰陣時你又唔話佢越界。
Like Chung, Poon also decided to not run in the 2023 election and will retire after nearly 4 decades of service. Hong Kong's largest opposition group, the Democratic Party, had initially indicated that it would field candidates in the election, but none of its candidates were able to secure enough nominations from the government-controlled committees. One of the party's councillors, Liao Chu, said there had been some resistance from his supporters for participating in the new patriots-only election. But he said he had to be a guinea pig to test whether pan-Democrats were really being banned from the election.
如果我哋一開始就知道覺得即係已經覺得個提名咧係冇可能咧，我哋唔去參與咧，咁其實就未必可以俾市民見到其實呢個選舉其實唔歡迎民主派去參與，可能你會覺得純粹係民主派唔參與，而唔係個制度排除咗我哋。咁我哋都始終都係要即係透過參選去。即係令到大家見到個制度有啲咩嘅缺陷咯。
During the nomination period, Chu said it was evident the nomination committee members had no interest in supporting any pan-Democrat candidates.
即係我都有揾某部分嘅人，咁其實咁當然啦，有一啲就話即係開放嘅，我哋再諗下啦。但係轉個頭就已經提名咗第二個嘅候選人啦，即係可能係啲。建制陣營政黨嘅成員，咁更加其實都好難去攞佢哋提名嘅。其實即係你見到以佢哋嘅利益立場嚟講，其實都冇可能俾個提名俾你。咁其實都呢啲揾嚟都嘥氣。
The 2023 district council election had the lowest turnout in history, at just 27.5%. Hong Kong Chief Executive John Lee acknowledged the turnout figures, claiming the results highlighted the higher quality and superiority of the revamped election system. Pro-establishment parties have unanimously welcomed the changes, saying the previous district council system was broken. Jeremy Young, who was appointed to another term as a district councillor by the government in December, said his former pan-Democrat colleagues were pushing politics-driven agendas in the council, rather than focusing on livelihood issues.
It was filibustering to the extreme. It was tabling agendas that were not approved, last-minute motions, not allowing government officials to enter the meeting room and then not allowing them to leave the meeting room. It was crazy. It was like primary school kids having a fight. It's embarrassing.
Johnny Chung said residents should still closely examine the work of the future councillors, even though there is practically no opposition left in the councils.
拭目以待咯，即係當我哋民主派係被政府甚至乎係被建制派描述到我哋只係搞破壞啊、拖延施政啊、冇建設啊。依家區議會、立法會加埋關愛隊，全部都係建制派。到時就真係見真章，因為佢哋冇得再諉過於人啊嘛，將佢哋嘅不濟。咁到時候施政做得唔好，意見俾得唔好，唔能夠將市民嘅意見全盤反映嘅時候，咁呢啲咪睇下佢哋幾有本事做到啲咩出嚟咯。係啊，最後一份禮物。
好，唔該你。
好啦，
下次有機會再選。
到時唔知啊，唔知個世界變成點。但係，
馬鞍山我選你㗎啦。
多謝，係啦。